here or not now? Y'all forgive me now. I'm trying to figure something out. Okay, what that is? I ain't went live on the phone in a while now. So I'm trying to figure this here out. See what this here is now. See how this here working. I ain't went live on the phone in a while. And maybe I might get some moderators on here. Now y'all realize now, normally on my lives, only the Blessed Tribe members could talk now. But right now, I got everybody on there because I went live on the phone and they didn't have that as an option. So I got to check on my computer and see. And for the Blessed Tribe, I did a review, but on the review, it messed up. I was using the streaming software and it messed up. And so now on this here chat finna be members only. So you'll see under my video how you become a member. And so I have to do little things like that for the members for supporting the channel. And then as y'all know, the Blessed Tribe, the Pop the Balloon reviews are now only members only as well. But the one I just did, it was real choppy. And I had shot a video earlier. And to help the boys, the link is in the description. You'll see that. It's in the description of all my video at Tony Gaskin Family Foundation. That's what that program is running through. I did a video earlier and it was choppy. On live. What's up?
Oh, you're on live?
Yeah, you want me to mute it?
Come here, Taylor.
Give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second, mama.
Are you fine?
Why coming in here? Yeah, that's good, buddy. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Your teacher wrote too. What's her name?
Miss Bender.
Yeah. I told her this year to tell you what you could become as a mathematician since you love math. And cause remember the lady I was telling you working with doing the GPS thing. So, lady,
Me too.
that's happy worked out for you.
Had a good day.
Yeah. I'm on live.
All right.
Love y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me. And well, my wife and youngest son came in. They was the first day of school. So he was his homeroom. He didn't have no friends in his homeroom, so he was excited that the rest of his blocks got his friends in there. So I ain't know what they were talking about, so I had muted it. And then I realized wasn't nothing. But wanted to pop on here because had me a good chuckle. And I just want to share this with you because I feel like this is a message for the whole body. And you got to understand the coded language. So when I say the whole body, then you know who the body is if you in the body. And so seen this lady. It was 2 or 3 ladies. One lady, she talking about, Tony, why would you have weights clanging in our ears? Invest in some new camera and mics. When I shot the video in my gym, it's like, man, it clanging in your ears because I'm lifting weights, and the phone ain't at the weights. But this is the thing. She had left another comment. She blocked now. She had left another comment by, oh, I see clickbait, anything to pay the bills. Let me tell you how mad the devil get. when people of the devil, when they work for the devil, how mad they get when they come to see and rejoice in what they thought it was. You got to understand, like, when you a marketing person, you marketing, and then somebody, it was another lady talking about do some thumbnails or something. Don't fall into clickbait titles. And then look like a guy was like, I'm unsubscribing for playing psychological games. Now, now think about that. Now, how am I messing with your psyche when the thing is titled, Why Did I Divorce My Wife? And the title was for those other people who, and see, the Lord done worked on me. Because I was about to say, for those y'all who is on the short bus, but I done took that out my vocabulary because them people on the short bus got a heart. And they got family. And people love them. And ain't nothing wrong with them. These adults who never had to ride that short bus, who can't understand the internet and a title, is the ones really doing bad. You're doing bad. The man, it was a man or a woman, said, I'm unsubscribing for you playing psychological games. How in the world, as a grown adult, a title is messing with your psychology, your psyche? That the only thing that mess with your psyche is the fact that you came over here hoping and wishing and praying that me and my wife are going through a divorce. I mean, ready. I mean, so excited. I didn't even look back at the video. I posted the video. I ain't even look back at the video, but I went to go to the YouTube Studio app and I clicked on I clicked on the comments, and I seen people commenting by that video today. I'm like, that video old. I posted 3-4 videos since then. Video's still going. People want me to go through a divorce. I say, wow. And then some people, it was like, oh, Tony, my heart dropped. Listen, nah, we can't be that invested in somebody else's relationship. Like, we got to do better now. We got to do better. And but see, this is the thing, what I try to tell you. This is our fault. What we do, we got to put our hope and our faith in God. Because man will let you down. So that's why I tell y'all, I use myself as an example, is don't hold up my marriage as your motivation for love or your example for love. You have to hold up the standard of the Holy Bible for love and marriage. You can't let humans be your representation for God's love. You have to know the love of God for yourself. And you have to establish a standard of love for yourself, because man will always let you down. And so you got to realize that. And that's what really mess with those demons. Boy, they was mad. They were mad. They clicked on that video and then realized I ain't divorced my wife. And because I'm not Denzel Washington, I can act a little bit. But you could tell in the first 31 seconds that I wasn't serious. And let me tell y'all something. And see, listen, I ain't gonna be able to do it again now. I'm not gonna be able to do it again. You only get off one time. But let me tell y'all something. YouTube count a view at 31 seconds. So what I did with that video was actually a masterclass. It was actually a masterclass. It was actually a social experiment. And so to see if I do, and if you go and you look at the videos that I have posted since then, you will see none of them have that amount of views. because they not messy. It's not drama. It's not failure. It's not messy. So YouTube count a view at 31 seconds. The last time I looked into it, they count a view at 31 seconds. If you go back and you watch the video, you will notice that I start talking at 32 seconds. Listen, man, that was a master class. That was a master class. And it's like, I don't care about getting new people here. It just, I knew it was going to end up in the algorithm for the people who already subscribe to me, for the people who already know me. So what you got to realize is the way YouTube works, it don't show it to all your subscribers. If it did, then every video would have 500,000 views because everybody will click it just for 31 seconds. So it'll at least have 100,000. Every video will at least have 100,000. That ain't how YouTube works. They don't show it to all your subscribers because that's too much bandwidth. That's too much data. That's too much work. It will cost them trillions of dollars for all of the people with a channel when you post a video to actually send out a notification to everybody. Like, that's all data. Like, that all costs money. And so they'll send it out only to the people who actively watch the channel. They will see it. If you're not actively watching, you're not going to see it. And so, but when you do that right there, now the people that's been scrolling, because they subscribe, but they just waiting on your failure. They waiting on your failure. And that's the thing. That's the thing. You have to see, you have to realize that it's people in your life that they don't really, they subscribe to you, but they don't support you. They are waiting for your failure. They waiting for your marriage to end. They waiting for you to lose your job. They waiting for one of your children to get on drugs. They waiting on your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend to cheat on you. They jealous of you, and they waiting on something that they could be proud about to feel better about their life. And so I have these levels of support that the Lord gave me a long time ago about the levels of support. So when you look helpless and you look like nothing somebody do for you is gonna help you, you get support. Once you catch on and people realize and it look like what they could do for you is not really gonna make a difference because they think you that untalented or that unattractive or that poor or that black or that white or that whatever, people support. Then that next level is when their support has now elevated you and given you a decent life. It's in that level that new people is what sustains you and what gets you to the next level. It's in that level where people start to stop supporting you, because I want you to think about this with the levels of support. If your neighbors come and they buy your plates that you cooking plates or you making shirts, they come and they support that. And then they get their friends and family to support that. Guess what? Now you get to get sod in your grass. You get to get some new sod. You get a new sprinkler system. Now you get to get pavers. Now you get to get a pool screen. Now you get to get a pool put in. Guess what your neighbors who supported you gonna say? I ain't supporting no more. No, coming up. Then got that off of me. No, that's from me supporting and buying this right here, buying that right there. I ain't supporting no more because now she flaunting or he flaunting they wealth in my face. Now I ain't supporting. And so then they stop supporting. But because of your t-shirts is out there and people seeing it, now new people is looking at the website and they going and so your money still keep going in. So it's at that level to where you actually end up flattening out and you losing support other than the new people. Now, if you hit a tipping point, so if you don't quit and you keep going, you hit a tipping point. When you hit the tipping point where you become a level of success to where those people who are not supporting you because of their hate in their heart, it doesn't hurt you because you got enough reach, enough bandwidth. You done hit a level to where you have enough day ones. You got 1,000 true supporters. So once you get 1,000 true supporters, what they call 1,000 true fans, which that's a real thing somebody created. 1,000 true fans, what they call it. I don't like the word fans. I say supporters. But what they mean is, this what they mean is, if you write a book and you make $20 a book, if you got 1,000 people that truly support you, you're gonna make $20,000. So what you're gonna have to now do is you're gonna have to do a book a month to make a living. Now, if you got t-shirts and you make $20 a shirt, you're gonna have to do 1,000 sales, $20, $20,000. You're gonna have to do that at least 3 times a year, 4 times a year to make a living. And so that's what that 1,000 true. So when I did that video to say, why did I divorce my wife? Really, when the Holy Spirit took over, once I started filming, I was going to explain that title meant, what that title meant is, that's what Keon Henderson, Devon Franklin, Torrey Roberts, and every other pastor, people who stand in the pulpit, who have divorced their wives, all 3 of those men filed for divorce from their wife. They need to do a video that says, why did I divorce my wife? Because if you are a leader and you want people to listen to you, to follow you, to look up to you, then you have a higher calling and you got a higher standard of responsibility. If nobody is listening to you, following you, then it ain't none of their business. But when you are in the limelight and when you a public figure, you owe that explanation to your congregation, to all your online supporters. You owe that explanation because those people need to hear and see, are you a man or woman of integrity? Are you living by the Holy Bible that you preaching from? Does your divorce fall within? And it ain't about keeping nobody business secret or none of that, because what's done in the dark come to the light. What's done in the dark come to the light. So it ain't about, oh, I don't want to out my ex. No. If you are a shepherd and you are speaking into people's life, that's your duty. So that's really what the title was about. And I ain't get to explain that in there. And I was going to explain that after that 31 seconds, but then I just went to flowing with it. And I was lifting weights at that same time. So I did that kind of off the cuff. And sure enough, got back in the algorithm. And see, that's what you got to learn. That's what the Bible say, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. And this is what I want you to understand. When you go watch that video that say, why did I divorce my wife? The video don't hurt nobody. But what it does is it educates you. It holds you accountable. It calls you to the altar. And it tell you not to play with God. And so what you have to realize is that's what being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove is. Because it don't hurt nobody, but it get a message out. So now that message that needed to be heard then got heard by the amount of people that need to hear it. That also means it's going to get heard by the people that I'm talking about in the video, because they congregation going to hear it. So this what you got to understand when you going out into the wilderness. That's why the Bible say be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, because we got to spread the word. So the people who came to be nosy, the people who came to hate, The people who came hoping and wishing that me and my wife went through a divorce, guess what they got? Out of nosiness, they got that message. And see, once you get in there, you can cut the message off. But it's gonna keep calling you every day. It's gonna keep calling you every day because you're gonna want to see, like, well, okay, he still ain't said he didn't divorce his wife. So let me keep listening. Okay, let me see. He listening. Let me see. Okay, all right. Now he talking about other people, and now he doing this, but he didn't say if he ain't divorced his wife. So before you know it, you listen to the whole video. Now you listen to the whole video. Now you done got the message. And now once you hear that message, see the truth pressed to the ground, rise again. So now once you hear that message, now you can't forget that message, cause now it done hit you. So this is for my leaders. This is for my teachers. Is it come a certain time to where you got to see how the industry and the technology and what's going on, and you got to be able to play the game. You got to be able to get that. You got to learn how to move. And so what I do all the time is I have a catchy title like that and I delete it. But what the Lord convicted me of is hey, that's genius that I gave you. That's innovation that I gave you. You keep suppressing it and hurting your reach by not using the ingenuity that I gave you. Look at how the devil getting his raggedy message out. So don't turn down the ingenuity and the creativity that God give you to decrease yourself because you don't want to make nobody mad. You don't want nobody to be upset. It's like we are adults. If a title gets you in your feelings, you got bigger problems. If a title of a video could make you mad, you got bigger problems. You got issues. Like Vogue, you need therapy. You need to be clicking that link on the Blessed Tribe community page, booking your discounted session, your 50% off session. You got more issues than Vogue. If a title gets you in your feelings. And then what y'all have to realize is it was a few people that is, I don't know the word for it. Don't put that in the atmosphere. You got to know God. God know everything. God not going to let a divorce come to fruition when he knows the purpose that the title had nothing to do with the video. And that the purpose of the title was to get a message out. Y'all got to forgive me. Can y'all hear me? What happens? My phone was trying to ring. I ain't have it on Do Not Disturb. Make sure. You can hear me now. Manoni, got you. That thumbs up for me. Okay. My phone was trying to ring. I ain't have it on Do Not Disturb. So what you have to realize is that people talk about manifestation and all of that. We don't have the power to manifest nothing. Anything that happened, it happened through God approval. So life happens. A part of life is death. A part of life is tragedy. A part of life is triumph. A part of life is heartache, heartbreak. Look what Job went through. And it is, what did I say now? That's not deception. Snow Angel. If you listen to the video, then you'll realize that the title was the title for the men who divorced their wife. So you have to listen to the video and understand that the title still served a purpose. The title was a title as a first person title for men who divorced their wife, who are leaders needing to come to the public and say, why did I divorce my wife? So that's what you have to understand. That's creativity. So you have to understand the message, listen to the video like everybody else in the video did, instead of speaking out of turn and letting the devil use you to come over here with a beg to differ spirit, to pay to have a beg to differ spirit. Now I rebuke Satan in the name of Jesus, because you is a paying blessed tribe member with a beg to differ spirit. When you got to understand that if I'm here for a reason. And God has put me here for a reason. So therefore, I'm going to know a thing or two. So you have to seek to understand, then be understood. And if you listen to hear and understand instead of listening to respond, then you don't have to get read in the middle of a message while the message going somewhere, and then you come and let the devil use you to derail the message. So that's what you have to realize and understand. And that's little subtle things like that, how the devil work. And so what you have to realize is a lot of people be talking about manifest, 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 when God have to approve whatever happened. Even in the Bible, when you see when Job was tested, when Job was tried, God, it say, have you considered my faithful servant Job? And you have to understand that when people like, oh, don't put that in the atmosphere, don't put that in the atmosphere, it's like, listen, a title of a video don't have no power. They don't have no power in your life unless you give it power and you do what it takes for that to come to fruition. So that's what you have to realize and understand, that we live in a world, and a part of the social experiment is people want drama. People want mess. And that's what that proved. It proved that when you do a normal, regular title, that's not an innuendo, that's not something that's creative or catchy, it's just going to be only the people who need that specific message. But when people feel like, oh, I'm finna be able to get some drama on here, get some mess on here, then okay, now I'm finna click it. Now I'm finna click it. And see, for me, I do things unorthodox. Like, if I wanted attention, I wouldn't go live at 4 p.m. What you got to realize is a lot of people got to go back to work. A lot of people got to get back into their job because it's 1:45 in LA. So they at work. So I move on my own timing. It's not 5 o'clock yet on the East Coast. So a lot of people still at work. So that's what you have to realize and understand, that it's never about attention, it's about the message. And that's what you have to, and because another thing, that if you really want to be big on YouTube, you could shoot your videos and have every video be a premiere, because YouTube gonna show the people that's live. So if all your videos are premieres, then you could have a premiere video every hour of the day, and that's like a TV network. And that's gonna really get that algorithm going, because now you got all them comments, now it's all them live, now you get credit for every view that came while you was live, even if they didn't stay. It's still, so now when your live is done or your premiere is done, now it look like you got 5,000 views. When you post a regular video that's not a premiere, that's not a live, you actually got to have them people watch it. But when you got live, somebody who's all the people that's sitting and scrolling through the lives, if they watch your video 31 seconds, now that done counted as a view. And so that's how people will get back into the algorithm and trick the numbers on YouTube. So whenever you go into a space, you got to learn that space. And so the reason why I have 3.5 million supporters online is because I tackle one social media network at a time. And I go into that network and I identify the style and the language of that network. And then I couple that with my style. and how I do things and what's comfortable for me and what form of expression or posting on this network am I comfortable with where I won't burn out. And so that's why when you come over here to my page, it's so unorthodox. Because if I do, if I gotta pay for a thumbnail, I'm gonna go broke because I might post 3, 4 videos in a day. The people who do thumbnails charge $10. If I got to make a thumbnail, now I'm working too hard. If I got to plug in a regular camera, a microphone, I'm working too hard. So I'm gonna burn out. Because when you plug in that regular camera, now you got to take that video and you got to plug that camera into your laptop, and now you have to upload that to your laptop. Then you got to edit it, put an intro, put an outro, you got to merge, you got to have transitions, you put music, you put titles, and then you got to export that from iMovie or whatever you used and upload that to your YouTube. And now it got to upload, it got to process, it got to render. So one video, if it's 30 minutes long, now it's going to take me another hour, 2 hours, 3 hours just to get it up. So, but see, the way I do it is, boom, I'm filming, I'm on live right now. When I'm done, that's a video. When I film on my phone, I just log into the app and upload it. And boom, I'm done. No editing. And so a lot of people don't take that into consideration when they watch my videos and they try to critique and they want to argue points. They don't take into consideration that everything you hearing me say is off the top of the dome and from the bottom of my heart at the same time. And that nothing is edited, nothing is chopped out. So you get in the raw and the real version. And a lot of times I'm looking around, I'm doing something else, I'm driving, I'm lifting weights, I'm in the sauna. And so you getting the rawest form of me. Nothing is contrived, nothing is over thought out, no script, no transcript, no bullet points, no PowerPoint, no editing. And so if you get in that type of video and still barely got something that you could argue with or disagree with, then that shows you the presence of the Holy Spirit. And that's what a lot of people, you got to have discernment to be able to understand that. And so we live in a world where we got to be bold as we go into this world, and you can't be afraid about who you're going to offend. You can't be afraid about who's not gonna like you. You can't be afraid about what toes you're gonna step on. You can't be afraid to walk alone. You can't be afraid to stand on the word of God, to work for the Lord and not worry about what's gonna be the fallout with that. And so I'm in a place to where I'm calling names. Y'all know for the beginning of my career, especially on YouTube, for years I never called a name. I never called a name, but then what I saw is that a lot of people, not everybody is given the spirit of discernment. So they can hear you talking about something and they will have no clue that you talking about their pastor because they don't see they pastor. They don't know, like they don't have that spirit. So they don't have that gift of discernment. So they won't even know. And then they'll be sitting there and be like, oh, okay. So now I have to call names because I realize that the wool have been pulled over a lot of people's eyes. And so that's what you have to understand. And so you got to get that. And I see Manoni in here. Uh, getting folks together. Um, y'all gotta forgive me. I can't see everything because it got the stuff see through. Key Young, and that's the key. That's the key. And I don't know the person's name. and sister, ain't nobody jumping down your throat. That's just me. That's just how I talk. So you got to keep your mouth closed so nobody can't jump down your throat. And if you worry about somebody jumping down your throat, come into the room and be quiet instead of coming into the room and talking. And that's what the saying "read the room" mean. Come into the room and be quiet, because even the Bible tell you to be slow to speak. So that's what you got to realize. So when you come over here, it's always gonna be real. It ain't never gonna be politically correct. Cause I don't care nothing about how somebody feel. I care about the word of God. And that we have to get out of our feelings. So I'm always be real. I'm not, cause for me, I don't even use the term fans or followers. Cause that's not something that I want. So I don't worry about offense. If you watch my videos, then you'll know I don't care about offending nobody. I also understand that as men, some of us will take a life by our name. And so when I call a name, that means I'm putting my life on the line. And so you got to realize that all I care about is pleasing God, because that's who hold my eternity. I'm not worried about your feelings. I'm not worried about, because what's for somebody is going to be for somebody. When you look at Jesus Christ and the way that he taught, he didn't tone down the truth to usher nobody into the fold. If you meant to be in the fold, then you're gonna be in the fold. If you're not meant to be in the fold, you're not gonna be in the fold. It don't matter how you talk. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. Jesus was standing there, and that's what people don't understand about Christ is when you really read your Bible, you'll see that Christ wasn't soft. There's some people that come to tell me, oh Tony, you need to be softer. You need to not go so hard on these folks. You need to have show some grace and all that. I'm like, listen, I'm talking about grown men. I'm talking about grown men who is over the age of 40. Some of them over the age of 50. They know exactly what they doing. They're not babies. Ain't nobody got to hold their hand and all of that. You got to be able to understand. And so this the thing. Um, Snow Angel, it's not the atmosphere, is you messing into the atmosphere. It's you is the oddball. It's you coming and disrupting. It's like that's what's gonna happen. It's like you're gonna get called out. And so that's the point. You have to be able to seek to understand, then be understood. So when you come and read the room and you sit and you could listen and see and you get to the heart of it, then you realize that we was talking about a title. So you can't use the word deception and YouTube title. We on the web. We on the internet with an algorithm where real messages are suppressed. We in an algorithm where the word of God is suppressed. What is promoted is foolishness. So you got to understand ingenuity. And then once you realize that, you'll get that understanding. And so that's all it is. And so you just got to be able to, sit, listen, seek to understand, and you got to check your feelings. You got to be able to check your feelings. Because for me, I'm always call a spade a spade. I'm gonna always call it like it is. And that's why in the industry, I have to walk alone, because I never been a yes man. I never been somebody to just be okay and be cool if somebody playing in God's face. And so, yes, we talk about a title, then a title that's a double entendre. If you know what that is, that's the greatest rappers in the world. They'll use a bar that mean two things. Some of them got a triple. It mean three things. So that's what that title was. But the nosy people that just keep scrolling, it make them think that it's about me. But when you take the time to watch the video, then you realize it's about these men who are leaders who divorcing their wives and never came out and said to us, why did I divorce my wife? And so that's the double entendre. So that's what you got to understand. So when you take the time as adults and we sit and we seek to understand, like Stephen R. Covey say, then be understood, then we feel less of a need to explain ourselves when we seek to understand. But what I was got on here, just like I say, the title of this is They Told on Themselves. I was talking about the people who came to the video not to pray for me, not to check in, or because also too, what I used to do was the talks with Tony. And so the people who've been here and they watch talks with Tony, they have seen that I put a title, and I always felt awkward with those titles because I'm titling it as the person who wrote in. And it'll say, the title might be, My Boyfriend Lied to Me. So if somebody's scrolling through YouTube, they're going to look and see a man and see my boyfriend lied to me and be like, hold on, this somebody in the LGBTQIA community, and then they're gonna click on it and then see, oh, he reading a letter. There's somebody wrote in. He not in that community. He wasn't talking about himself. But then also it's gonna get a lesson, and they're gonna learn and they're gonna grow. And then also it's gonna grab the attention of somebody who they probably been looking and wondering and thinking and trying to figure something out, and then they see this salacious title and then they click on it. And the next thing you know, now they get a lesson. So what you try to do when you giving a baby medicine, you got to put a flavor with it. You got to put it on top of some candy. And so that's how we have to do in the body, is we got to get the word out. We have to get the word out, and that's why you'll see so many of the Christian reaction channels. They doing reactions to the foolishness, but in that reaction, the ones who doing it the right way, they trying to teach you. They trying to teach you what the words say. They reacting to the foolishness in the body, but they teaching you at the same time. And they know that people gonna click, but then when they come in, now they gonna get a message. Now they gonna get to see what the scripture really says, what the scripture really means. And that's the goal of those reaction channels and the Christian reaction channels. But if you notice, we also give them a hard time. And we say, oh, it's just a bunch of gossip. Oh, we tearing each other down. We tearing each other down. But really, it's just rightly dividing. Really, it's just teaching the word. And it's teaching it through bad examples. So they showing the bad example and then teaching you what's the right example. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. Rochelle, God bless you. God bless you. And I'm gonna tell you, I hate calling names, but I just started to realize, I started to notice that people didn't know. Like somebody will be playing in their face and be right in their face, and people wouldn't know that somebody was playing in their face. So I had to start to call names because I started to realize, okay, that's and you right. That's how a lot of YouTube get clicks, those juicy titles. That's the name of the game. So what the Lord told me, it's like uh, every now and then you got to learn how to play the game. And so before I did it, because they have my wife's name in it, because they say, why did I divorce my wife? Before I did it, I asked my wife for permission. And I say, baby, I want to title this video, Why Did I Divorce My Wife? Are you okay with that? Because that would drag her into it. People might reach out to her, be like, oh, your husband did this video, he did this title, he's speaking that on your marriage and all of that. And, oh, what if he about to divorce you? Are you scared? Are you worried? Because I just know how messy people could be. And she said, yeah, I don't care nothing about that. She said, people do that all the time. She like, you got to do it too. She like, I don't care about that. Because she know what we got. And she know what the purpose of it was. She know what the message was. She know what the goal was. She know what I was doing. And so that's why I was able to do that. Now, she said, no, don't do that. And see, that's why I try to tell y'all too, like, We on one accord. So if the women in my comments saying, Tony, don't do no title like that, don't speak that on your marriage. If my wife said it was fine and she was okay with it and she understood the purpose of it and why I was doing it, then that's the only opinion that matters to me. And so that's why I did that. So you might see some catchy titles other times and be like the boy who cried wolf. But one thing you know, if you click on my video, it's gonna be a message. It's gonna be a message. The message gonna have a meaning. It's gonna have a purpose. And the goal of it is so we can learn and we can grow. You can learn, you can grow. And what the person said, sophisticated, it just hit me. She wanted you to acknowledge her. She's been following 5 years. She knows your tone and she knows how you speak. Yeah, you're right about that now. You're right about that. Right about that. And that's another thing, Megan. I ain't called the young lady Satan. Did just what Jesus said to Peter. And listen, see that way you got to get in your Bible though. You got to get in your Bible to be able to tell. You got to get in your Bible to be able to tell. And so, you just not gonna know. You're not gonna know. And so yeah, we Carlotta, God bless you. God bless you. The three B's is still up. Okay, say let's celebrate their first soup on the live stream. Carlotta, God bless you. YouTube say what's Carlotta? Uh, Corin, yeah, you're right. That it was nothing about my marriage. It wasn't even talking about my marriage. And so listen, for all y'all YouTubers, it ain't something that you want to do all the time. But sometimes you take what the message is in the video and take a piece of it and put it as the title, just like we do with the Talks of Tony video. And those right there is always awkward, but boom, it's going to somebody see it. And so for me, I got to be creative with some of my titles because I don't use thumbnails. So you picking and choosing, you doing one or the other. If you don't use thumbnails, then you're gonna have to do titles, because some people use the creative thumbnail with a picture and all of that right there. But the thing, what my focus is right now is for us to be able to discern between the spirits and to get closer to God, to be able to live right and do the right thing, to be able to rightly divide, to be able to see the scams and the tricks of the enemy and what's going on in our world, and to understand that it's a lot of people that's switching sides and they hoping and praying on downfalls. They hoping and praying. And that was also what I wanted to see too, of like, because that's something where somebody could see and just keep scrolling. And I seen probably a handful of people that wrote in the comments, I haven't watched, I haven't seen your videos in years, but how they seen that one? Think about that now. How somebody ain't seen my videos in years but seen that one? That show you how the algorithm work right there. That show you how the algorithm work. It's like, wow, how you ain't seen a video in years but seen the one with that title on there? I'm like, wow, now that's crazy there now. But some who that may say the video at 40K views. Listen, the video at 40K views, the video was at 30 when I seen it earlier today. So it's like, wow. And then so some people got scared and then was relieved very soon because they already know me. They already know. And so listen, and one thing about it, let me tell you like right here. I'm big on marriage, and y'all see people ask me about marriage. And honestly, what really why I had to get that message out is because it really break my heart that the brothers that I mentioned in there, Maurice, God bless you, God bless you, Maurice. And Maurice, I done seen Maurice a few times. And what really broke my heart about the situation is the brothers I mentioned in there all know me personally. And so, for example, today a brother is going through something, and he knows me. We don't talk every week. We don't talk every month. I don't even think we ever met in person. But the brother had my phone number. So he going through something, and he texted me today. He said, "Hey man, do you have 5 minutes? I need to talk to you about something, dealing with a family member." I was on a call. I said, "I'm wrapping up a call, but yeah, I got the 5 minutes." So I got on the phone with the brother and we talked. And he reached out to me. So before him making a decision, before him just going and doing something, he reached out to me. And so the reason why I go so hard about the divorces in my circle, is because that right there break my heart. Like, the last thing I want to see is divorce. And so if my wife and I got to that point, I'll be crying out to the Lord every day, read my Bible every day, communicate with my wife every day. We will go to every relationship coach that I know, that I could think of, go to retreats, read books, and exhaust every single option before going through divorce. And so when them brothers that I mentioned, all of them got my phone number. And one of them I had talked to because I was going to open a church. One of them I had talked to. And one of them I was going to talk to. And he said to me, he said, what did he say? He said, my wife said she had a dream that said I need to reach out, that you need to call Tony Gaskins. And I said, okay, wow. And he was like, no, reach out to Tony. And she said he told her, Tony who? And she said, Tony Gaskins. And it's because of what I teach on. It's because of what I teach on. And when on it, I seen the lady question, and it's just one of them things of some people just not gonna get it. And what you have to realize too, to the young lady, she was saying she trying to understand the contradiction or something of growing organically, and using a title. Those titles don't help you grow. It just get a message out. You don't. That is not gonna, a clickbait title not gonna turn into subscribers, because people are already mad about and so it ain't about growing. That's not my goal to grow. It's certain messages got to get out. And so it's about the message growing and reaching people, not me growing. So you can't put everything all together. And you got to get that. And not everything is for you to understand. You're not going to understand everything. And when you don't understand it, it's not for you. It's not intended for you. And so one of the brothers, he was like, my wife told me to call you. And he went through a divorce. And he went through a divorce. He did not call me. We was talking about something else. That was me reaching out to him. And that probably was God. But he didn't mention to me what he was going through. And then the other brother, the other pastor that went through a divorce, I heard about it from somebody at his church. And that person was very upset. That person was very upset and mad about it. And he was saying that he lost all respect for the pastor. And he was saying how the pastor wife was such a sweet lady, like so amazing. And I agreed with him because I know her too. And he was like, I'm done. Like and he was saying that he said I done been on the road with the pastor. And see on the real stuff right here, you notice I'm not saying names. Because it's more so private information. Like that they went through a divorce and got a new relationship, that's public information. So that's why I could call their name. But this right here stuff is private information. So that's why I'm not calling their name. So you got to understand the nuances and the caveats, and that just take time. That just take praying for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And so you got to realize that the brother said he lost respect for the pastor, and so I reached out to the pastor and I said, "Hey, you you went through a divorce with your wife?" And he said to me, he said, "That's old news. You didn't know that? It had just happened." He had never told me. And he know that at that time, and probably still today, offering one-on-one sessions, that I was the number one relationship coach in the country. And he know me personally. And I'm married. And he know I'm big on marriage. And that I promote and push marriage. And that I believe in marriage. And I love marriage. So if you got somebody that you working with, somebody that you bring to speak at your church, why won't you call them and say, "Hey man, I'm going through this right here in my marriage," if you genuinely want to work on your marriage? And that's what really bothered me, is like a lot of these men didn't even try to save their marriage, because they didn't even reach out to all their resources. They reached out to people wanted to do, that they knew would say, "Yeah, I feel you, man. That's just how it go, man. It just sometimes it don't work out, man. Sometimes it's just not meant to be. Like God know your heart. God love you. Like, it's gonna be all right. Like you just got to go through a divorce." Versus reaching out to somebody that would say, "Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Y'all need to get with me. Y'all need to talk to me. Like we need to sit down. Like let's go to such and such and do a 2-night, 3-night retreat with my wife and I and you and your wife. Like let's work through this thing. Let's make sure we have exhausted everything." But not every person wants that. Sometimes men want to go through a divorce for advancement in another relationship, like financial advancement in another relationship. And that's what they want to do. They want to go through that divorce for that reason. And so you have to realize and understand that. And that's for me right there, is that's why I take it personal. Is because if somebody know me and they going through a divorce and they don't reach out and tell me and talk to me about it, and they got my phone number, but they'll call me about business, and they'll call me about making money, they'll call me about me aligning my brand with them so that they can sell tickets or make money, but then won't call me to help them save their marriage. That's why I had a problem right there. And so I'm gonna forever speak on that. So it's like if me and my wife we hit a snag. For one, I'm gonna go to my father, because he does that. But then two, I'm gonna reach out to the men that's in my phone, that I got their number, and I know that they prayer warriors. I know that they married, that they faithful, and I'm gonna talk to them, and I'm gonna get their insight, get their thoughts on it, get their opinion. And so it just, for us as the body and for young men, it's not a good look for the young men to see the OGs going through multiple marriages, divorcing their wife for no good reason. And I don't have nothing against nobody, but even we just seen Devon Franklin, get remarried, but we don't know why he divorced Megan Good. And so without that explanation, as a leader, as a speaker, as a teacher, as a minister, without that explanation, it leave all the young men in the dark, And they just go and they say, well, hey, if pastor, if speaker, if teacher, if leader divorce his woman for no good reason, or just because he felt like it, or just because it just got old, then I could do the same thing. And then that's what'll continue to happen. And then it repeats the cycle. So that's why I say we have a duty as leaders that when we fall on our face, we got to teach a lesson from it. When we go through something, if you're gonna speak, then you got to speak about the real. You got to speak about everything you go through, from your choices, your decisions, your mistakes. You got to teach and share that because somebody is looking up to you, somebody watching you, somebody following in your footsteps. And if they don't realize that what you did and why you did it, then they just go and emulate that behavior. It just creates destruction. And so that's all it is. But hey, my I did a review of Pop Balloon today, and I was listening back to it as I was getting ready to upload it, and it was real choppy. And then I seen in the comments somebody said my other video from earlier today was choppy. So I guess the service or the connection with the streaming software wasn't working. So that's why I come on here onto my phone and just hopped on here. But I think we got a trip tomorrow with the boys program, and so thank y'all. I think I'm off the rest of the night, and thank y'all for the support of the boys program. And so I always put the important links in the description. And let me see here. We just crossed the hour. And we'll probably do a Q&A probably Monday. Maybe Sunday. I think we got a dinner for my son. So probably Monday do a Q&A unless I get free and get on here again later tonight. If my wife tied up doing something, then I come hop on here and do a Blessed Tribe Q&A. Well, let me see something real quick. Let's see what y'all give me a second, see what she got going on, because she tied up. I'm locked in my marriage because God joined us. Matthew 19 says, nice, let no one should separate. I'm committed for life. Yeah, that's how I gotta be now. DT told me thank you for pushing through the message. Yeah, you welcome. I'm definitely gonna do that now. And see, the thing about it is, not everything you think should you say. And sometimes you got to look and see. And so, sister that came on here tonight, God bless her, praying for her. But just spirit is off, spirit in the wrong place. And then combative spirit, and then kept going and going and going. But I've seen that a few times with some of the Blessed Tribe members. And that's just why I be trying to tell you, sometimes you have an enemy behind the line. Sometimes you'll have, and see, for me, that's why I do members only chats and things of that nature. Because you would think that if somebody is paying to support, then they already is somebody who will seek to understand, then be understood, and be able to, you know, see your heart. But even with that, it's just sometimes people don't really get it, and and then make a mountain out of a molehill. You know, to use the word deception when you talking about a title of a video. It's like that's a strong word to use when it's talking about a title of a video, and then still not understanding that the topic of the title was in the video. And so when you have that stuff right there kind of happening, that's when you know it's like, and that's why try to tell you all the time, it don't matter where you go and what you're doing. the devil gonna stir up strife and confusion with that beg to differ spirit at some point. And it's not that everybody gonna agree and all of that, but for the sake of the movement and the message, not everything is worth saying. So I might go to a Christian channel and might agree with everything that they doing, but I understand what they trying to do, and I'm not gonna comment in their comments to cause discord because then that's gonna confuse the babies in the Lord. And so that's what we gotta do. And so with me, I have a thing to where if it's confrontational or something like that, I don't even comment on people channels. I don't even say nothing. Like I do a video on my channel about it if I need to talk about it, where my voice is supposed to be. But I don't even mess up what nobody else doing on their channel. I left a comment one time, and that was on Anthony O'Neill and the guy Tim, Pastor Tim, where they was talking about cursing or something about how God told him to curse to reach people or something like that, and which is profanity, and you mixing the profane with the sacred, and it just had nothing to do with nothing. And I'm like, y'all boys, wow. I think that was my comment. And so, yeah, got to have patience, and that's where the fruits of the spirit come in. But at the same time, got to speak truth to power. Got to be able to call stuff out. And I learned that from Jesus. Like when the man said to him, y'all remember when Jesus was standing in front of the man, and the man said, I could have you set free or killed right now. What you gonna say? What you got to say for yourself? And Jesus said to the man, you don't have no power other than what my Father in heaven has given you. And now, most people, think about this now. If you in front of a judge and the judge say, I could kill you right now. So what you gonna say? It's like most people not gonna look at that judge and say, you don't have any power other than what my Father in heaven has given you. And that's where people forget that Jesus was not no punk. That Jesus was not soft. When he told them men, he said, you go tell them foxes and them vipers that I said this right here. And it's like, people be like, oh, you ain't supposed to call names. It's like Jesus called names. And because he called them foxes and vipers or something like that, snakes, basically. And then when he went into his father's house and he flipped over those tables, like that wasn't no Yolanda, God bless you. Popped that right there. Just have to show my appreciation in the process of watching all your videos and just ordered a woman influence today. I appreciate you. You've been helping me tremendously. God bless you, Yolanda. And she says she in the process of watching all the videos and just ordered woman's influence. So see, that what God wanted to be done is being done. Because Yolanda has found out about a woman's influence, and a woman's influence, for those of y'all that don't know, a woman's influence came out in 2020, I believe, in the pandemic. And Yolanda has found that book and she bought that book. So see, the work of the Lord gonna get done. Yolanda, God bless you. We praying for you. The work of the Lord gonna get done. And so now think about this now, and I want you to really picture this. Think about going into a church and flipping over a table because of a righteous indignation that you feel about your father's house being disrespected. Like, you really with the smoke if you go in somewhere and you flip over a table. And I think that's what a lot of people get confused. And they just think that Christ was just like this soft, scary, passive, like pushover. But when you really read the word, you'll see that he stood up in the face of the devil. He stood in the face of the devil, just like with Peter. Think about this right now. Think about your partner. Your partner being with you. And your partner saying something that's against the will of God. And you look at your partner, you look at your homeboy, your homegirl, and you say, Satan, get thee behind me. They're gonna take offense to that. Cause they like, oh, hold on, man, you talking to me. You calling me Satan. You calling me Satan. Like, Jesus ain't look to the left or look to the right. Peter was right here. Look, Satan, get thee behind me. Because you trying to block the work of the Lord. The Lord already put this in motion. Like, this already written. And here you is as a man letting Satan use you. And you are a disciple. You a disciple. You in the blessed tribe. And you letting the devil use you. And we could all say that I don't think Peter was trying to be disrespectful. I don't think Peter was trying to, he was just trying to say, like, man, we don't want you to die right now. Like, man, we don't want to lose you. That's all he was saying. No. But that was contrary to what God said. So therefore, it made it disrespectful. Therefore, it made it work of the devil. And so he says, Satan, get thee behind me. And he was talking to Satan, who had come into Peter and was using Peter right there. So Satan didn't just use Judas. He right there used Peter. And what did Jesus call it? He called it out. Where a lot of times we'll let Satan use our friend or our family member and we won't call it out. We'll cry. We'll go cry. We'll stress. We'll lose sleep. We'll skip a meal. We'll call somebody and gossip instead of calling it out. But what Jesus did, he called it right out. Instead of saying, hey, hey, I hate to say this to you right now, but you letting the devil use you. Because all I'm doing is what? Is Bible. Like, what I'm doing is Bible. I'm doing what the Lord has instructed me to do. And you letting the devil use you by telling me that no man gonna wait on me until marriage. And that I need to be having sex before marriage. I rebuke Satan in the name of Jesus. Because you trying to mislead me. You talking me off of what God want me to do. That is written in the Bible. And you're supposed to be my mama, my brother, my sister, my best friend. And you trying to talk me out of the will of God. And instead of us calling it out, we'll sit there and we'll actually ponder on it. Maybe they got a point. Maybe they right. Maybe they, I don't know. And we'll question God. We'll question God. And so you got to realize that. You got to realize that, we come to a time and place to where stuff got to get called out, but it's only certain people. A lot of times the people that God used done been through a lot, done did a lot, done seen a lot. Done been to prison, done been homeless, done been evicted, done been working for the devil, done been out there in the streets because they had to go through that to lose fear. A lot of times, if you ain't seen enough or done enough, you'll have so much fear in your heart and be so worried about being liked. Be so worried about being invited to the event, being invited to the table, being invited to the stage, being invited to whatever, to the circle, that you won't say what God told you to say. You won't do what God told you to do because you want to be friends with everybody. You want to be cool with everybody when you don't realize anybody that won't be your friend for standing on Bible and for speaking the word of God is not a friend indeed. That's an enemy. And so that's what you got to understand. Yeah, you right about that now, Kayon. But hey, God bless y'all. My wife in here cooking. I'm gonna go on in here and see what's going on. I'm about to try to get on here and write her, cause if she tied up, then I got a little time. Cause see, for me, I ain't got nothing to do but live my purpose. And so and other than that, then it's with my family. Let's see what's going on. My wife, she got so many embarrassing pictures of me, and every now and then she'll just send me one of them. And she'll just send me an embarrassing picture, and just be the picture. This one here is one that AI did, and that AI messed me up, and she just sent it to me. Y'all got to forgive me because that light shining in my eye. Yeah, you ain't got to you ain't got to curse or get angry, but you could call it out. Oh, okay. My wife say the food got one more hour. Tony, what do you think about giving my? Y'all could do y'all questions now. Do the Q&A. Yep, Megan, put your question in there. Hey, Sophia, you heard that typing? Hey, they be trying to think I'm country and dumb, but when they get in, my wife she bothered me now. Now she let the devil use her. Listen, I'm working now. They caught a bad picture of him on VH1. Let me see. Tony, what do you think about giving my 19-year-old daughter that's in college, giving to another 19 boy in college for engineering? She was talking to someone at her job, and I didn't want that for her. T, I can't really fully understand that. There's a word or two missing in there. So write that again for me. Um, God bless you, Janet. And see, that's the thing about y'all women is y'all be catching everything. Y'all be hitting the right keys. Now let me see. I was looking for Megan Parker question. And to the other one, I'm trying to understand what you were saying. Giving your daughter to a 19-year-old boy. Yeah, some of them I can't see. When a man states that he in or out of the state, never tells anyone when he's traveling, including his immediate family, what does that mean? To me, it means he either sell drugs or he works for like the CIA. That's what that mean to me. Or he lying and be in town and just with a woman. Okay, y'all forgive me. Tony, can you please make a video on what you meant when you said when a man sees a woman, he can see her entire past? I want to know, what do men see when they see me? And also how exactly men read us. Warrior of nature, God bless you for that question. Yeah, I'll try to remember to do a video on that. And it's not as literal, but essentially, it's basically saying that men have a ability to read people because our ability to be hunters and to be killers. If you notice, even from the Bible days, men was conquering land. So when you have those type of senses, you're able to pick up on things. And so when a woman is carrying pain or trauma, her face shows it. Her demeanor, her energy, how she move, how she talk, it shows if she's hurting, if she is jaded, if she is lonely, if she's been abandoned. When a woman has confidence and she's been raised with confidence and she has been taught to love herself and to value herself, it shows. And so how a woman dresses tells you how her where her mind is at, where her belief system is at, how she views herself. Does she love herself? Is she secure? Is she insecure? Is she attention seeking? Is she expressive? Have self love? All of that. Megan Parker, I see. People always say how beautiful I am, strangers, friends, authorities, etc. But I never had a relationship. Men pursue me, then disappear. I think because I'm too innocent. 30 can pass for 18. This not making that sound like one of them questions y'all used to ask that brother who passed away. But I can't really see you. Y'all gotta forgive me giving messages about the boys program. Let me see. 30 and could pass for 18. Now, hmm, it might be that innocence. If a man feel like that he can't sleep with you and that you're gonna make him work too hard and he just not in that space in life and he don't feel like you're his wife based on your personality or what have you, then he will move on. Some men they just in that space. Sorry, grammatical errors. when a man says that he never tells anyone when he's traveling, okay, yeah, you ain't have no grammatical. I understood what you were saying. So Megan, it's gonna take you increasing your exposure. You're 30 years old, and so it just means meeting more men and men that's ready to settle down, and then also understand that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if the people who tell you that you're beautiful are not eligible to date you, then it doesn't really matter if the men that you're meeting don't see you that way. Like if they see you and they see you like a sister, they see you like a friend, they may think you pretty, but if they feel like just based on your energy, you feel like a sister or a friend, then that may hinder you as well. We leave tomorrow for my boys program. So y'all forgive me, I ain't realize a message was coming in. I turned on my computer. Yeah, y'all put that hashtag Q in front of there. Also, family says I should stop dating too outside my race. Could be an issue as well. And that may very well be. Somebody don't fully understand you and your culture or respect you and your culture. Question. I'm divorced, single mother, 17-year-old and 5-year-old. Met a guy, told him I'm waiting until marriage for intimacy. He said, how can you do that when you already have 2 kids? Your thoughts? That is, Yolanda, that is the common comeback now from the men. And they got that from their godfather who passed away, who used to give the insight online. And he would say that, and I've heard some of them say that from that. But you have to explain to a man that when we know better, we do better. I have 2 children already because I did it the wrong way or I got with somebody without fully vetting them. So in order for me to keep doing that, that means I will have a third child and a fourth child and a fifth child if I keep having sex before marriage. Whereas if I was in a marriage or what have you and it still didn't work out, now I got to be even more careful. And so you have to explain that you're doing things different because you want different results. And you want to be able to choose correctly. You want to be able to choose wisely and thoroughly vet a man and really get to know a man before y'all go to that place. And you want to know that a man sees you as his wife because by you having 2 children also shows a man that you already know what to do in the bed and that it's gonna do what it do in there. So now you just need to know that y'all fit and y'all could do what y'all need to do. What does it mean when a man says, I knew you were too good to be true? We'd only been talking for a few days. It it really depends on if y'all were finished talking, if y'all about to be done with each other. And but what you have to realize is not everything a man says he means. Sometimes a man just say stuff because it's just like a punchline. It doesn't really have meaning to it. It's really to gas your head up, make you feel good, make you smile, those type of things. So you got to realize and understand that. KD answered, you're right. Men say a lot of nothing. It's a lot of less. A lot of time, that's what it is. My boyfriend of 4 months broke up with me. He said he couldn't give me the time I deserve. He lives in Texas and I live in Oklahoma. He has 4 kids and I have none because I want kids when I'm wed. You gotta appreciate that. When a man do that and he let you off the hook, he let you go, you gotta have honor and respect for him because he didn't waste your time. He didn't lead you on. He didn't lie to you. He didn't try to deceive you. So you got to understand that. It says dating is not a good investment right now. He just opened a business. He don't want to date, but he still calls me, but not consistently. What to do? Told him I'm not coming to his house. Thoughts? Well, you got to cut him off. Because what he trying to do is kind of be a placeholder. He trying to be friends with benefits, and he gonna mess up somebody who coming in serious because they gonna see his name popping up. Warrior of nature. How do men view homeless women? How do men view homeless women? Warrior of nature. Homeless, just homeless, just downtrodden, down on your luck. Could assume that you may have mental health issues, or he may assume that you just went through a bad divorce, bad breakup, bad family thing. It just depends on that man background and that man upbringing because it's so many. If he's met mostly homeless people who had mental health issues that led them to that point, then he'll assume that. If he met mostly homeless people that went through a divorce and couldn't afford life outside of having 2 incomes, then he'll believe that. It's not something you could take serious, or you can't really put too much thought on that now. But not sure if if you homeless, or I don't really think a homeless woman should be worrying about dating. For one, got bigger fish to fry. My ex came back after 14 years and said that he wants a relationship with his son. I said no. Am I in the wrong? Let me see what your name is. Lydia or Lydia. Yes, you in the wrong if he's not a danger to his son. Now, if he's like a danger to his son, where like he live a very illegal, dangerous lifestyle, gonna have your son at his house with bullets flying and around, all kind of paraphernalia and stuff like that. If he is an addict of some sort and maybe could hurt your son in a rage, then the only time you should keep a child from their father is when their father is a threat to them, a harm to them. Because that father or mother, a parent, they represent something to that child, and that child is half them. And you can't really get your feelings in the way and hold your feelings against that other parent, because that 14 years could have been him getting his life together. That could have been him getting things in order. That could have been him ridding himself of his demons, purging and cleansing. And now he's finally ready to be a man and to be in his son's life. And so that's better. It's better late than never. And that's how the kids feel too. If you notice that most people who grew up without one of their parents, if their parent is still living, that child becomes an adult and they go seek out their parent. And they want to sit down and talk to their parent. And they want to know, why didn't you love me? And then they quickly find out that the parent says, it's not that I didn't love you, it's that I didn't love myself. And then the child forgives their parent and they start to build a relationship with their parent, because that's your part of you. That's your identity. You always want that. You always want to know where you come from, who you come from, what made you you. So if you block it and you say no and it's not for a good reason, if it's not to, protect your son, and it ain't about protecting his heart, because life gonna hurt him. It ain't about you saying, well, his dad gonna come and then leave again. He'll get over it. Kids are resilient. You can't protect children from heartbreak and heartache. You could prepare them for it. So you could say to your son, if it's 14 years, then your son probably is 14 years or older. You could say to your son, like, listen, he want to see you, he want to talk to you, but I want you to understand he may disappear again. So are you okay with that? Do you want to see him? And then also let your son have some input, because your son may say, well, I'm gonna just keep him in that place. I'm not gonna be attached to him. I'm not gonna expect anything. I'm gonna just, when I talk to him, when I talk to him, when I see him, I see him. I don't hate him. Like, I come from him. And I got a young client like that, who told me that they 18 years old and they say they really don't hold nothing against their dad. They don't necessarily need their dad, but they just talk to their dad when they talk to their dad. I feel like relationships go I feel like relationships go far down the priority list at some point in our lives. Um, Snow as an angel. God bless you now. Y'all see this sister? She ain't get for her. She's still on here and she understand where we at with it. God bless you, sister. Keep your head up. Let me see. Moving on from a relationship where I got physically harmed one time. I felt bad because I reported the incident and don't have examples around me of people who have told. Best way to reassure myself. That's a tough one now. When you feel that way because you haven't seen it, but you have to reassure yourself, knowing and telling yourself that you did things for the right reasons, and that nobody would be able to say nothing if you end up in your grave. So you can't get worried or feel bad about protecting yourself, because had you not reported that, the person, and then if something worse happens, if you didn't report the smaller incidents, then the police may say, how do we know, like, this that this is a thing? Like, how we know you're not the person that started all this? How we know you're not the provoker in this situation? And so you have to remind yourself that you did the right thing for your safety, for your life, and this life or death. 4 kids in another state. He saved you. I missed that one. Sorry, Tony. Last question was mine. Now you can ask your question now. You're in the blessed tribe. Was my question remind you of something someone would ask the man who passed away? Um, yeah, that was your question. Because of all the stuff that you listed out is subjective stuff. So when you say that you beautiful, that's subjective. When you say that you look innocent, that's subjective. So those things are in the eyes of the beholder. When you say that you 30 but you could pass for 18, that's subjective. So what I mean by that, when you go on TikTok, you'll see them women that they'll post and it'll be like, how old do I look? And they post that and they'll be like 40 and they expecting everybody to say 24, and people be in the comments say 65, 55, 58, and then they come back and be like, I cannot believe y'all said that I look this right here age, and everybody be like, hey, why you got mad with us? You came on here and asked us. So that's why I say you really want to be able, that's more like a one-on-one type of question where we could sit down, look at who you attracted to, who you talk to, look at looks compatibility, and kind of look at it from a holistic, whole world view versus like just because we can never see ourselves the way other people could see us. And so that's what I was talking about with that. Is like you could be going off of, what mama said, what daddy said, but then somebody on the outside could have a different perspective and say, hey, it's actually your hairstyle. It's actually, this right here conversation piece that you hitting on, that you touching on. I see. So if a man is attracted to a homeless woman, does that mean he's serious or sees something in her? And what if he's a security guard? Thank you, Tony. Now, warrior of nature. Now you confusing me with these homeless questions because I'm wondering, because I don't know if you talking about yourself, and this really is not something that to me I've never heard of this before. I've been doing this a long time, and I've never been questioned about homeless relationship, and so and then if you homeless, it also got me wondering like, okay, you got an internet and data and phone, but I don't think that's a genuine thing. If a man, now it could be, well, a man could be attracted to a homeless woman, but one thing that homeless represent is vulnerable. So that's what worries me about it. Is homeless represents vulnerable. Homeless is associated with the voiceless. So homeless could mean that if he does something to that woman because of her position in society, who's going to hear her screams? Who's going to listen to her? If he can get with that woman and get her social security number, and he know how to delete negative items, and he could delete negative items off of her credit, and then go get a car in her name, or get a house in her name, or get lights or water or cable in her name, and he is taking or file her taxes and do a fake tax return and get a tax return in her name. It's just like how the tax fraud people did that, of dead people, of older people, of homeless people, and they were filing all these tax returns and getting these drops from people that they hadn't got their social security. So to me, it says that, and also what you got to realize about men is some things could literally solely be about sex. So a man, when it comes to sex, it don't matter if you homeless or not. And then when you say a security guard, to me that sounds like you saying a security guard who work at the homeless shelter. Now that would be, in my mind, almost like abuse because of the power dynamic, to where he just there and he just horny, and he think that you cute or fine or pretty, and you homeless, and he just want him a little work, little piece of work at work. And so that kind of got me a little concerned. I really wouldn't entertain somebody from a state that I don't want to be in or stay in. Because if I attract somebody in that state, I'm attracting somebody totally different when I'm at a much higher state. Hi, Mr. Gaskins. How could one request a social media profile read with you? I believe you don't professionally, but would love your input. If not, I'll bring it up again at the VVIP dinner in Joburg. Now, make sure you get your, okay, you in South Africa? Make sure you get your VVIP dinner ticket now. Because when they gone, they're going to be gone now. Does being bigger really matter? I'm slowly but surely getting there. And also for the, those type of things like evaluating, looking at your social media and stuff. You could do a one-on-one session. You'll see the link. I posted it today. I don't know if it's sold out, but it's on the community page. So when you go to my name and you scroll over to community, you'll see that on there. Um, and so it's 50% off for my students and the Blessed Tribe. Does being bigger really matter? I'm slowly but surely getting there. Everything affects everything, in the words of Zig Ziglar. So everything matters. Being smaller matters. Being bigger matters because you attract what you are. So the type of man that you can attract when you are bigger is going to be different than the type of man that you will attract when you are smaller. So it depends on how a man views you when you bigger. So if a man views you, he may say, "Oh, she nice. I think she nice. I think bigger women are nicer. I think bigger women are better in bed. I think bigger women cook better or sing better or look better." So then if you go and you lose weight, he was attracted to you for a certain reason at that size. Now when you change, it's just like when you watch 600 Pound Life, which is an extreme case of it. But when you watch 600 Pound Life, you'll see the men, the skinny white guy who got the 600 pound girlfriend. When she go to losing 5, 10, 15 pounds, he go to getting depressed. He go to getting sad. And they're like, why are you sad? Well, I brought her a box of pizza and she normally could eat the whole box and now she's just eating like 2 or 3 slices and it's just upsetting me. I'm like, well, why are you sad that she losing weight, Billy? Well, I just feel like she lose this weight, she's not gonna want me anymore. She's not gonna want me, not gonna want to be with me. She's gonna get out here and all these men are gonna want her. And we be sitting and watching it like, no, it's just gonna be you. You still gonna be the one because she also gonna have to do something with the loose skin, Billy. So what exactly are you worried about, Billy? And Billy be in his feelings because she losing weight, and he don't want her to glow up because he thinking now everybody gonna be knocking down the door. And it's like, no, she's still gonna have some work to do, and it's still gonna be some men that's scared that she might go back to 600. So you got to realize, tell people, don't worry about dating until you at the level of being comfortable with who you gonna attract at that level. So if you know you're not where you're going to be in 3 months or 6 months, work on your business. Start your nonprofit, start your LLC, do your logo, do your website, get all of that in order. The the brand while you working on your body. And then boom, when your body get to a maintainable place, and what we're doing right now is working on the brain. So we working on the brain right now. Then you working on your brand. The 3B's virtual conference, if you missed it, it's on TonyGastonAcademy.com, the replay. Then you get your body to where you want it to be. And when you get your body where you want it to be, now you're going to attract who you really want. I believe in dating, you want to be the best version of yourself in the 3B's. Okay, I see some of y'all giving advice and here. So y'all see in the chat, some folks in give you a little insight there. Thank you, Manoni, catching Samantha up. Do you believe, D Queen, even couples typical, not rich, pooling resources, happily married and pooling for 15 years, asking for my circle, witness many splits over the years. My money is my money, a factor in each. Yes, I believe in couples pooling resources. Like right now, everything that I earn, I'm sending to my wife and let her handle it, let her manage it. Because I believe that what I notice is that makes her feel more included, and it makes her feel, and I love her and I trust her. So, and I'm taking a chance. And humans are humans, so she might buy her a little something off Amazon out of there. Might, but I'm not really worried about that. And some people say, oh, well, they could be stashing to the side. I'm not, in case they divorce you or you divorce them. I'm not really worried about that either because it's like it's money. So if God forbid, but if we went through a divorce, it's like I'll make the money again. And that's what always blows me about people who put so much stock on money, and it really speaks to a scarcity mindset, because money could be made, any and every day, and you never gonna have enough money. Like, you always gonna have bills. You never gonna have enough money. Like, do y'all realize that Jeff Bezos don't have enough money, and he a trillionaire now? By Elon Musk don't have enough money. Like, they still have to take out loans. They still got to borrow money, because the more you make, the more you spend. And so with married couples, I believe there should be one account, a joint, and you just gotta trust each other with what's being done with your personal allowance, whatever amount that is, because they own personal account. Somebody could be subscribing to OnlyFans. Have the money pooled, and then a equal split on spending money, so that things could be done. And so I do believe, because when you married, you won. And so if my money is my money, then we not one. That means we two. And that always kind of confused me when I talk to married couples, and they be like, well, I paid the rent out of my money, he paid a car note. And it's like, well, those different prices, those different things. Like, oh, well, we don't make the same amount of money. I make three times more. But when you married, you won. So it don't matter who make more money. When you married, you won. Nothing else matter. You won. Y'all got to forgive me. My phone had froze. Froze. My Wi-Fi was acting up. I don't know if y'all could hear me now. And my phone dead. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? Okay, you can hear me now? Okay, thank you. The boys club on the academy, and so that's but this year was only $47 for the year, so I didn't really put all the information in there yet. And then going forward, it'll be $97 for the whole year. And then the interviews with other men and voices and things like that. But it's sectioned off the videos. It'll say for 13 and under, or it'll say for 13 and up. So, and you log in and you watch the video, and then you show him the video that you feel is appropriate. You don't sign him up with an email and let him just go in there. Sorry, my opinion was from how people have told me my whole 20s on a daily basis. Yep, Megan, I totally get that. And like I tell my wife, you really just need unbiased opinion. And sometimes you never really know. Me, I never really trust nothing. I know I'm gonna be honest with you, because that's my job to be honest with you. But sometimes my wife, she used to wear, it might be something she wear that don't look good, and she'll say, "Oh, people was telling me that my sweater looked good." I say, "Yeah, sometimes people do that just as an inside joke." And they'll be like, "I really love that sweater." Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, all right. You can't always believe everything somebody tell you. And so that's what I mean by that. Should a woman ever go to a car that honks at her? Why or why not? No. Because if a man really wants you, then he could get out, or he'll pull up beside you, roll his window down. But if he honking at you to get you, that's kind of like a disrespectful cat call. Seriously dating a man who believes slash prays to Christ, but does not call himself a Christian, and only believe in some of the Bible. I'm a Christian. Can this work in marriage? No, no. And he not praying to Christ. He don't believe in the whole Bible. He not praying to Christ, because Christ is the Word, and the Word was with God. And so in the Old Testament, and then Christ became man on earth in the New Testament. So he don't really believe in Christ if he don't believe in the Bible. and he don't really believe in Christ, and he don't call himself a Christian. And if you're a Christian, then no, that's not gonna work, because that's just what them kind of people be doing, is they be getting enough intel to just be able to say that they tried it and it wasn't real. But the whole time they was an undercover agent for Satan, and they will switch to being a Hebrew Israelite, or being a Muslim, or being an atheist, or being some other religion, and they'll say, "Oh, I tried Christianity, and it wasn't real." But the whole time they never was a Christian, and they just do that to get a little clout. Should a woman? Okay, we're seeing that one. Why does it seem like no one in my age range wants a real relationship? I keep getting approached by 40 plus men, and I'll be 28 on the 31st. Well, charisma, you in the age of what I call the porn babies. Um, you in the age of what I call the porn babies. So a lot of 28-year-olds now, where it used to be like 25, you consider an adult, like a real adult. Now it's like 35. 35 is the new 25 in that sense. Or when people say 50 the new 40, 40 the new, that's really kind of becoming the situation. So a lot of 28-year-olds, they ain't nowhere near. They was raised in marriage and around marriage and saw marriage. And if they didn't see that, they nowhere near it. Tony, these homeless be voluntary sometimes nowadays, trying to escape the bills, bathing at the gym and sleeping at the office. It might be a good idea. It might be a good idea. Why you playing? I ain't thinking about a homeless voluntary homeless. If I was a single man with no kids, I might consider that. Buy me a nice car to sleep in. Let that seat bite. Let's see here. Okay, warrior nature. Yes, Tony, I've been in and out of shelters and have had security men hit on me. Yeah, that must mean that you look good, because they not hitting on homeless and unattractive. So if yeah, that must mean that the Lord gave you some looks. Cause one thing a man will do is sleep with any woman that he think attractive. You could be homeless, you could live on the moon, you could live in a can of paint, be the woman in the shoe. If a man is attracted to you, he will sleep with you. He will try to sleep with you. And at the same time, too, now, it's not to say that it's not genuine. Because some men could have gone through so much that they want to be a woman savior. They want to be a woman prize. So some of that could be genuine, some of that could be very twisted, and he have ulterior motives. And he, so I would not necessarily trust it, just because humans is hard to trust anyways. But it's almost like you got to take case by case. And we probably add us a fund one day soon for like homeless recovery, to be able to help people like get therapy, get financial education, help them, help you get a job or find a job or what have you. That's a ministry that's needed. He got out of prison 6 months ago. Let me see if I could swipe that thing out of the way. Okay, that's how that works. He got out of prison 6 months ago after 9 years. He is working and has 6 kids, trying to rebuild his life. We seen each other a few times and have had a good connection, but he's not communicating with me every day. Well, it's 6 months ago. He probably is either already with the woman that he was talking to big time while he was in prison, or he out spreading himself, living his life. So you got to understand that. Anytime a man not communicating with you regularly, it's a red flag. And so that's what you got to realize. Man broke up with me but said we can still be friends. Reason he gave was that he says I needed to heal and he wanted me to be more soft. Whenever you break up with somebody, you can't be friends. You got to move on. Whatever their reason is, that's their reason. God bless them. Let them have it, but move on with your life. But when somebody want to be friends, it's because they it's almost like you getting moved from like the starting lineup to the bench, to where you still kind of useful, but you're not really all that valued. Or you get moved from the first team to the practice squad, to where you'll be useful for some practice, but you're not really valued enough for the game. And so that right there is a dangerous space to be in because you're expendable. You're easier to be cut. But then also you still can get hurt because you still in practice. You still getting hit on. You still going through stuff. And so you still could get hurt. And so a lot of time what that is, that's a man trying to be friends with benefits. And so that's all it is. How can a homeless woman make money instead of panhandling all the time? Because all that panhandling only make at least $60 or $100 a day. Huh? $300 a day if you have kids on the street. That's a good living right there. I was a grown man, married with kids, making $80 a day. I about to I see why Dr. Umar be out here with that internet panhandling. Cause imagine how much he making. You can make 300 a day with some kids on the street. Sister, you just said a lot right there because it's a lot of people don't make $300 a day. Like $300 a day is $1,500 a week. That's 6,000. That's 5 days a week. That's 6,000 a month. Tatum, come on, man. Listen, gotta get on. Sister, that right there throw me for a loop, though. That throw me for a loop. Wow. But I would tell you though, if you could find like some good clothes, like from somebody that's giving out clothes or like a thrift shop or something like that, I honestly believe if you went door to door to jobs that somebody will hire you, whether that's as assistant at the front desk doing something, filing papers, cleaning up, running errands, even being a like a delivery person. They might even help you. Some jobs will help you go to school, help you take certain classes. I'm gonna try to ask my mom. when I would try to ask my mom for money and she'd say no, I would go to my daddy and try to ask him, and then he would say, "Well, I gotta ask your mama because it's our money." I used to be like, "Yep, that's how it's supposed to be right now." I used to be friends with a mom who had her kids on the street, but I got away from her because she's toxic and a user. Warrior, God bless you now. And I sure hope that ain't no my first time having a homeless um, person on the blessed tribe now, warrior of nature. That is very interesting to me. So y'all forgive me for just me. I've never seen that. Just never seen that. So y'all forgive me. I'm not trying to be insensitive or nothing. I'm just literally intrigued by that. I am intrigued by that. I'll be honest with you. I will be honest with you. I'm trying to figure out how that looks and what that is like. Just walk a mile in your shoes, cause that is no, that ain't easy there. That ain't easy there. Thoughts. My daughter is 19 in college and works at a retail store. I gave her number to a 19-year-old boy that's in college for engineering because she was talking to someone at her job. Oh, okay. I see what you mean now, T. I see what you mean. She talking to somebody at her job. You ain't like who she was talking to at the job, so you gave her number to a 19-year-old boy. One thing I say is that's a mistake. I done learned that from my son. That's a mistake. And yeah, this here buffering, y'all. This here buffering. Am I still buffering? Or that was the old buffering. Can y'all hear me? Oh no, T, I see you can hear me. Yeah, that was a mistake because we can't really choose for our kids. And then you gotta answer to that. You gotta answer to that. Let me see here. My boyfriend of 5 months has a teenager but isn't sure it's his. Y'all gotta forgive me. Hey, I'm gonna get on off of here cause this here thing, we in a little rainstorm. So when you get in a little rainstorm, it go to acting up. I'll talk to my son on the thing. So we'll pick back up on the chat though. God bless you. Keep your head up. I need to get on off of here because I'm musky. Because I ain't putting no deodorant on today. Because heard the lady talking about that deodorant being bad for you. I sure regretting it now. Because I'm over here smelling like a pole cat. So I'm going to go get in this here good shower. She said the only reason why you musky is because you got the toxins coming out your body. So I said, you know what? I ain't going to trap my toxins in. I'm going to just let my toxins come out today since I'm at the house. Sure regretting it. Smelling that metallic coming under that arm. So I'm gonna get me a little shower in and got them toxins out my body. Y'all know the deodorant be having the metals in it and all that. So it be gotta let your body detox sometime. So I might need to go get up here in this sauna. Gonna get more of them toxins out me. This food we be eating. But hey, God bless y'all, and we'll do our Q&A. Um, Yeah, I see a sister on here, Warrior of Nature. She was coming to ask questions. And she got a lot of us considering getting out there. Witch hazel, I'm giving some of that witch hazel too. Yeah, I should give him some deodorant when I. She got a lot of us getting out, want to get out there with Umar and get some of that. So I'm like, Lord, like I always thought that though. Some people say sometimes they be like, man, the homeless doing better than us. Because sometimes, you know, your job, you stuck right there, but have not because you ask not. You get out there and you ain't afraid to ask. The Lord might have you a blessing. The Lord might send somebody one day give you $1,000. You never know. So it's like they say, stay down till you come up. You got to find the joy in it. And I mean, to be blessed to have a phone, you in the blessed tribe, and going, you know, and having to go through what you're going through. Maybe the Lord got you here for a reason. So God bless you. We praying for you. I can't I say I want to start a fund, but it's kind of hard for me because I've been helping so many people and it's been backfiring on me with a lot of people. So I had to be careful, but we're gonna get us a blessed tribe fund one day to help those who, you know, going through, and see what we could do. Samantha, you was homeless too? Wow. Mm, okay. Well, we need to start teaching about that. Okay, Samantha. You gonna start your YouTube? Well, yeah, go on do that. I might start me a homeless shelter and put some stuff in there. Put therapy in there. Put entrepreneurship classes in there. Be running a business out of one side of it, a thrift store out of one side of it. Had a apartments or dorms over there. Had a gospel music playing through there all day. Start me a homeless shelter. But hey, God bless y'all, and we'll be in touch. Been on here over 2 hours. Pray for him on that homeless shelter. We'll get it done. We will get it done. We'll figure out how we got to do it. Might need some of y'all to move down here and help work it now. We'll raise the funds, get it off the ground, get us some grants. But God bless you. We'll talk soon.